Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Boss Man. I am Nathaniel Rumpelgents, your editor-in-chief and local boss man. So, we've been on hiatus for about 3 weeks to a month. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been a while. And that's because we were working on a few things. Like we have a new video editor, so if you really like how the quality of this video has changed in terms of the editing aspect, you can thank them. This is also our second time recording with our new camera, so we're hoping that the video quality is a lot higher. I'm still working on a microphone. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions. This is my Blue Yeti mic. I'd like to get a clip-on mic, but I don't know much about that. But why waste time talking about technicalities today? We had a new intro too. How was that? Did you guys like that new intro? Yeah! So today we are back a bit earlier because I wasn't expecting to come back till after the holidays, but I guess now we're going to run through the holidays. Anyways, we're back and we're going to talk about Zelda U and a little bit about amiibo. So last week, Friday, or I should say 2 Fridays ago by the time you see this, Zelda U footage was shown at the Video Game Awards, and let me just say, yeah! Woo! Thank you, Nintendo! And thank you, Jeff Keighley. To be honest, I'm actually really excited about the Video Game Awards and the way it went and the way it was presented. They were a lot better than any other Video Game Awards show that's happened. So to me, it kind of told me, yay! Spike TV probably was the reason that the awards were so commercialized and dumbed down and didn't really feel like a video game show. So yeah, I'm glad to see Jeff Keighley can actually connect with gamers, and I'm glad to see Nintendo had such a big presence. So for those who aren't aware, because you've been living under a rock, we got new Zelda U footage at the Video Game Awards at the end of the show. So at the end of the show, it was capped with The Legend of Zelda for Wii U, along with Koji Kondo working with a band who I can't remember the name right now, I'm really sorry, for a compilation to play some Zelda music. So the Video Game Awards ended with Zelda, which blew everyone's mind. You know, Reggie got up there and said, the one thing people always ask me every time they see me is, do you have any new news on the new Legend of Zelda game? And they did, and they showed off Link riding a horse, a lot of grass, him shooting his bow at some enemies, and that's really all we got to see. There was a lot of fine details. We broke down a ton of things on the site, and we'll put a bunch of links down in the description or down in the post itself on ZeldaInformer.com. And it's all about the little details. That's what we notice the most as Zelda fans when we see this footage, is the little details. Like the sailcloth is back. Does that mean Skyward Sword connection, or does that just not mean anything and they haven't come up with a new item yet that's going to do the same thing as what the Deku Lift did? Or the fact that we got to see the entire map, or at least what we presume is the entire map. We don't actually know. There could be some more lands off to the west. I just had to go north, east, southwest in my head. Yeah, it's been that kind of day. There could be some lands off to the east, and or off to the west or to the north, and what we saw isn't final, of course. The land could be bigger, it could be smaller. There's a lot we don't know. We got to see what we thought was maybe Lake Hylia, maybe the Death Mountain area, and some snow and some woods, or in some desert. All of this was in the mini-map, which is on your gamepad, which we kind of figured was going to happen because putting the map on the gamepad is the most common use of the gamepad in most of the games we've seen, along with putting some inventory management and stuff down there, which we didn't get to see, but I think we can assume is pretty natural that they're going to have. There might even be an icon on the lower right corner that suggests you can switch between the map and the inventory. We don't know what that icon does because they didn't touch it. But one of the really cool things, and what I took out of the Zelda U footage the most, was that you don't have to control your horse, if that makes sense. Now, I haven't played a lot of Shadow of the Colossus, which apparently is where this concept was popularized, where you are on your horse and you tell the horse where to go. You have a set direction on your map, let's say. Like in Zelda U, you can kind of put up a beacon on your map. and you can have your horse go to that beacon. Or I believe in Shadow of the Colossus it worked. You just started galloping with your horse, and that's the direction the horse went, and the horse would auto-avoid obstacles, like going around trees and jumping over rocks and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like a real-life horse would do. I'm not saying that a horse can't run into a tree. In fact, there's some convincing footage of a wild horse in the Zelda U footage might be heading directly into a tree, head first. But, whatever. Generally, deer, horses, animals, they don't on purpose run into things. So, it seems kind of natural. So, the horse goes off on its own, and the character riding the horse can kind of do different things, like take out the bow and arrow and shoot. In Zelda U, you're able to move the camera around. You have a free roam camera. That's really cool, and I don't think riding Epona we've ever had a free camera like that outside of going into first person mode when shooting arrows. But we don't really go into first person mode in this game necessarily. And it looks like the aiming is done with the gyroscope in the gamepad. So there's that. But that seems to be the coolest thing. Now, there was confirmation of the slow-mo. You can jump off the horse and shoot your arrow and woo! I'm excited. There's a lot to not like, I guess. Like, there was some pop-in. There was some interesting things going on. And we could talk about the lore and the fact that Link isn't wearing his green tunic yet. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that we got to see Zelda U. And we weren't expecting to see Zelda U for a while. Now, I did mention at the beginning I wanted to talk a little bit about Amiibo. I wrote an editorial earlier this week that talked about Amiibo and what Nintendo has been saying about it, and that there's all this controversy around are certain Amiibo discontinued. The basic gist is that some Amiibo are going to be discontinued. We don't know which ones. Nintendo will not tell us. We can believe the retailers or not believe the retailers. That's really up to you. Nintendo will not tell us which ones are discontinued and which ones are not. And which ones might be coming back later, which they kind of suggested in the most recent comment. So you can go give that a read. I was going to, when I was talking about Amiibo, I was going to show off the one Amiibo I have. And that Amiibo came with my review copy of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, which is not in here. Mario Kart 8's in here because it's in my Wii U. They sent me Mario, if you guys remember. And the problem is I can't find the Mario figure. So that lets you know how often I've actually used Amiibo. Yeah. But I still like them for collector's purposes. The only reason I don't have the Link Amiibo right now is because I believe my girlfriend might be surprising me, quote unquote, surprise, for Christmas. I saw her add it to the wish list on our Amazon account, so I'm assuming that she plans to get it for me for Christmas. I did order the Princess Zelda Amiibo today because I am afraid that even though she's a mainstay character, she's technically not the main character in the Zelda series. So maybe after the first run, she might not be here. I don't know. I'm blaming Nintendo for this. This is why I wanted to bring up Amiibo. I just bought something because Nintendo might not allow me to buy it next year. That's sad. It actually kind of makes me want to... Oh, Nintendo. Now I can't even buy Villager for less than $56. That's the show for this week. I know it's a little rambly, but I don't really have a lot to add. Next week's show, we're going to be talking about the Zelda cycle. And is it real? Is it not real? Why does it exist? What's the perception behind it? And is there a way we can break it? Can it be broken? But if it's not real, then what is there to break?